meeting of the Mount Clemens Board of Education to order, please. Call the roll.
Mrs. Cahoon.
Here.
Ms. Hammond.
Here.
Dr. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Shepherd. Mr. Walker.
Here.
Mrs. Walker. Mr. Rickman.
Here. A quorum has been established. Next on the agenda, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda are citizens' comments. This is the portion of the meeting where you, the citizens of Mount Clemens Community School District, can address the board with any your questions, comments, concerns. We don't have a rostrum set up like we normally do today, but if you want to make comments, questions, concerns, we ask you come forward, state your name and address. Be mindful that you have 3 minutes by which to make your inquiries or concerns. Also, be mindful you may not receive a response to your particular inquiry here this evening. If you would like a written response to any question that you have, we ask that you fill out the questionnaire sheet and return it to Ms. L, and you will receive a written response to your question within 72 hours. Last but not least, I ask that you address all questions, comments, concerns to the chair. The agenda, the agenda is now open for citizens' comments. Oh, you can just come up forward since we don't have yeah, you know.
Right there. Yeah.
That's right there. Yeah.
Good evening, Board of Education
and
of
address,
Clemens.
please, ma'am.
My name is Zena Ridley, and I am coming on behalf of the North Broadway Church of Christ Outreach Committee. And these are two of our committee members, Lori Andrews and Diana Cobbs. And we come on behalf of your athletic department to give a small token of our appreciation, a donation of $500 to your athletic department.
Oh, that's great.
We'll gladly accept that.
So I need a pic?
Yeah, let's get a picture. Thank you.
Okay.
And turn around to the camera, you know.
We on this camera first.
Yeah, I mean, that camera.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much from North Brooklyn. The agenda is still open for citizens' comments. All donations step forward. Second call, citizens' comments. Last call, citizens' comments. Hearing or seeing none, moving the agenda forward. Next on the agenda, item 5, the presentation by Yo and Yo 5A from presentation of the 2024-2025 audit. Mr. Superintendent.
Good evening, board, community, and everyone else that's here. You already said it. You know, we have this every year. Part of our responsibility is financial fiscal audit. And Yo, for my 3 years now, has been here and guiding us along. And so we are excited to hear their report out. And I'm going to turn it over.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
It's always a pleasure to come to Mount Clemens. Great things are happening in this district, that's for sure. So kudos to the board and the administration, the teachers, the parents, the families, everyone else who are putting in the hard work to build a great district. I have a very nice pleasure to give you your audit results tonight. So every year we go through and we audit the books and records of the district. That process includes assistance with preparing the financial statements, evaluating the internal controls, and looking for compliance for federal, state, MDE requirements, and making sure that you're compliant with the state and federal government. At the end of our test work, we give this audit result, this audit opinion, and it says, in our opinion, the financial statements are free from material misstatement, which is a really good thing. That's a clean audit opinion, and we want to see that every year. So congratulations to Jen for sure. That is an easy paragraph to read, those audit results, but to get there, the audit procedures we use are pretty complex. First, we have to understand those internal controls. We test them, we review policies, we review procedures. Our team comes out and we perform a risk assessment. We look and say, where is the district at risk from a financial statement or compliance standpoint? We do substantive testing, analytical procedures. We review your pension and OPEB obligations and the data that goes into those. We always implement an element of unpredictability, something to keep you on your toes in the district to make sure you don't get comfortable with the same questions year over year. We are under governmental auditing standards. It's a little higher level of assurance. And then we do that grant and compliance testing pretty intense. The financial statement preparation, and then we finish up with data collection forms, MDE, ISD, and other submissions required to stay compliant with the state and federal government. One interesting thing happening this year is there's a backlog at the federal level. Right now they're currently closed, and we don't have a compliance supplement or approval from the federal government to issue a single audit report. That's the audit report over those federal funds. So right now we're on hold with that. You and every other district and every other federal submitter is on hold. We are in the process. We will get the audit report complete, separate the two, audit report and single audit report, and we'll be compliant with the state of Michigan and their requirements. Just know that that federal audit won't be issued at the same time as it normally has in the past, but we'll get there in time. All right, now the fun stuff, the numbers. The balance sheet is that snapshot in time when we look back to June 30th. A substantial portion of our assets is cash. That gets us through that August or that September state aid lull where we don't have state aid. So we got to make sure we have some cash in the bank. We also have due from other governmental units. That's our July and August state aid as a receivable. So our total assets in the general fund were about $10.5 million. Some of that's spoken for through accounts payable, money we owe for bills, as well as salaries payable, and then some unearned revenue, stuff we haven't gone through the process of spending yet. Total liabilities accounted for about $2.6 million in the general fund. And that left us with a fund balance of about $7.8 million. Some of that is already earmarked or assigned by the board when they did their budgeting process in June for your June approval most recently. That was about $3.2 million, and that leaves about $4.5 million unassigned fund balance. Good so far? Where we get our revenue from, obviously the local, the tax collection, and the state aid. State aid is the number one driver of that. Proposal A, remember, your local portion is subtracted. So in total, it was about $13.3 million that comes from Proposal A funding, that's local and state. And then federal government made up about $1.8 million for a total revenue in the general fund of about $16 million. Our expenditures go out in two categories for the most part, direct instruction and all supporting services. We also spend some money on community services, capital outlay, and then some debt service in the general fund. That was about $14.4 million. And we transferred out of the general fund into a capital project fund for the building, about $3.4 million on the next page. That reduced our fund balance, net change in fund balance of about $1.8 million for the year, going from 9.7 to 7.8. The next page is the general fund comparison to the budget. So your actual is in that column and your final budget is in the column marked final. The difference between those two are generally over or under spending in those categoricals. In total, we were under budget by about $1.8 million by the end of the year. Any questions on that? To get a little visual, there's a pie chart in there. Again, that state aid makes up the state portion of about $8 million and local portion. So that's about 83% of your total revenue, of all your revenue, comes from Proposal A. That's why it's so important we advocate to the state of Michigan to give us a proper foundation allowance and making sure that we educate kids in the school. FTEs times foundation allowance gives us the combination of those two numbers. Federal makes up about 12%, and then interdistrict sources, that's generally from the local RESA, is about 5%. Another way to look at spending is by object code. So that's salaries and benefits. Salaries and benefits make up about, this year it was a lower percentage. So it was about 38%, but that included 20%, almost 19% that went out as a transfer of expenditures. That went out to the capital project fund to fund those expansion projects and the buildings. Purchase services made up about 36%, or about $6.2 million during the year. The next one just shows a bar graph over time of the fund balance. We've seen some nice increase in the fund balance, creating a healthy fund balance. This year, we spent some of that down. That's that decrease substantially due to the transfer out to the capital project fund. And then the next one is just that as an analysis of the per pupil revenue and per pupil expenses. We typically want to see the revenues obviously higher than the expenditures in any given year. That would indicate we're a fiscally responsible district. And so last year of 25, we were 19.7 million, or 19,700 revenue per student, and expenditures of about 17,791. So the results of some of that things, we didn't identify any material weaknesses, which is great. No significant deficiencies. Our federal program, we did test Title I, so we take that program and we break it down. We test expenditures and salaries and all the other components of that program to make sure you're compliant. The result of that was no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies, and no non-compliance. So well done on that. Some other required communication you'll receive is a governance letter. It's the same letter we've provided in the past. It outlines your responsibility and our responsibility as part of the audit. In there, significant risk of material misstatement. These aren't risks directed towards you or areas we saw. These are risks that we see across all districts. And so those are areas we test as part of our test work. That includes management override of controls, making sure that the controls in place are not being overridden by management's decisions. Improper revenue recognition, making sure revenue is recorded in the proper period. Again, these are just items we test during that audit process. And then if there's any historical material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, we want to target those areas as well to make sure that we're still free from those issues. So we were free from those issues. Well done. One comment, those are best practices we have. That's a management comment. There was a budget overage in Title I, something to maintain. I know we've already talked about it several times, but just making sure that we're spending our grant dollars in accordance with the approved grant agreement. Yep. So there was an overspending of a category in Title I. I can't tell you, I can't remember which one it was. Just one line item in Title I was over budget. So remember how Title I works is we go to the state of Michigan and we put an application in and say, this is how we want to spend our allocation of Title I. And we overspent one of those categories by more than 10%, which is hey, let's not do that again. So, yep, absolutely.
The reason I say that is because a lot of people don't understand, like, in-house staff, how grants work and title works, right? We have to spend what we said we're going to spend, and so that's what I was getting.
And that Title I budget is very specific, right? So if it says you're going to buy Chromebooks with Title I dollars, you can only spend Chromebooks at a cost of $350, whatever you wrote into that grant application. Same thing, any of those items in that grant application are very detailed, and that's all you can buy with those funds. You can do amendments, you can change that, but you have to be forward thinking on that and think way in advance. All right, that was a very quick overview, but a well done audit. Thank you very much to the finance department. Jen did a great job this year. I appreciate you being available and upfront and providing information timely and accurately. Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned the single audit report being held up. because of feds. Do you see any issues with the reports that we're waiting on, dealing with the Title I? Title I is
Yeah.
probably a majority.
Yeah, great question. So typically, and I'd like to say typically, right, those compliance supplements, just like the federal government tells you how you can spend those dollars, your Title I application says you can spend them this way. Our audit testing has to be done according to their rules as well. Typically, year over year, those rules don't change a whole lot. So what we've tested was last year's compliance supplement. If there's any changes from last year's supplement to this year's supplement, we'll have to readdress those. But I really don't think there's anything out of the ballpark that's going to be totally different than what we've already tested. So we might have to tweak our language on some of that. We may have to test some additional items, but it's routine. So I'm not concerned about that at all. And again, this was being held up at the federal government before the shutdown, and it's still going to be held up after the shutdown. So we don't know when that'll happen. We're hoping within the next 30 days, but who knows?
Thank you.
Yep.
Any additional questions, comments, concerns? I just briefly, I'll go back to the chart. I should have asked you when you were presenting it. It's dealing with the local funds.
The revenue pie
Yes,
chart?
revenue, yes, the revenue.
Yep. General fund revenue.
Can you said the local is a little short of 5.5 million, about 30%. Can you briefly just tell us what the local resources are?
Yeah, that's going to be tax revenue substantially. So take you back, Proposal A, 25 years ago. It's been a while.
She don't know anything about it.
Go back to Proposal A, and they said, listen, this is how we're going to fund schools. We're going to take the number of students, the FTEs, and we're going to give you a foundation allowance.
Right.
We're going to multiply those together. Then whatever you collect locally on your 18 mil local property tax, we're going to take that off, and we, the state, will pay you the differential. So Proposal A says every district gets the same amount.
Right.
I'm using air quotes on that for those that can't see me. Every district will get the same amount, the same foundation allowance. That's your total revenue you're going to get, and that's made up of local and state revenue. That's the big bulk of that state revenue portion.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Great questions. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? I just say kudos to Jen and her staff.
For sure.
Doing an outstanding job.
I'll applaud that too.
That's a team of, I was gonna say that during my comments, but I really want to emphasize that, right? That's a team of 3 people. So that's just Jen, Kelly, and Nicolisha. And
Don't forget about the other hats they wear in that process too, right?
yeah, and they do multiple things, but I just think about the first time I sat through this process and the feedback and what they walked into and have been working to adjust and clean up, for lack of better words. It is, and all the other hats that they wear. So we couldn't do it without them. And I always it's a joke within our office about how tight Jen is with us spending money, but it's for a reason. And I think I need one of the things that you all tasked me with taking over this role was a financially sound and responsible budget, and that's been a priority for us. And so I feel confident in having Jen in that position and the team, making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, but also making sure we're more importantly, getting our resources to our kids. And that's been our emphasis. So good job, Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Yeah, thanks, Jake.
Talk to you soon.
Next on the agenda, action items. Item 6, consent agenda. 6A, approval of minutes. 6A1, the October 8th, 2025 Committee of the Whole work session. 6A2, the September 17th, 2025 regular meeting. Consent agenda item B, approval of bills for payment. B1, September bills for payment. Consent agenda item 6C, Middle Cities Resolution. 6C1, Workers' Compensation Group. Consent agenda item D, pay scale proposal for non-union members. Consent agenda item 6E, GSRP copier/printer. The chair would entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Member Cahoon to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Second by Member Hammond. Are there any questions, comments, concerns regarding the motion on the floor? And just for the sake of those who may watch this telecast, the consent agenda item, is where you vote on something where you don't discuss it. We discussed all the items in the consent agenda in detail and sometime to nauseam at our board work session, which happens the Wednesday prior to our regular board meeting. So it's not that the board doesn't care or the board not paying attention. We've already gone over all these items and we're just reviewing them and just coming here and to approve them. So it's not that, nobody cares what's going on. We've already discussed these items. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Cahoon.
Yes.
Ms. Hammond.
Yes.
Dr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Rickman.
Yes, the motion carries. Action item 7 from the Business and Finance Operations 7A, Yo and Yo A1, the 2024-2025 audit report. We've heard the audit. The chair would entertain a motion to receive the audit as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Member D. Walker.
Support.
Second, Member Shepherd. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding the motion on the floor? Hearing or seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Mrs. Cahoon.
Yes.
Ms. Hammond.
Yes.
Dr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Rickman.
Yes, motion carries. Informational item 8, Business Committee. 8A, Financial Reports. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding the financial reports? And we did get an answer regarding the question about the pay $38,000, $32,000 to Carnes, Pluto City for Carnes.
And it's the last payment.
And it's the last.
No more after that,
It should not be. If it is, there's something fishy in the water.
right?
That part.
We gotta fix our own parking lot now.
Maybe they'll give us a check. Informational item 8B, contract listings. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding the contract listings? Hearing or seeing none, takes us to the highlight of the evening. Superintendent's comments.
I'm gonna highlight the evening. And it won't be long this time, either, so I know what you were getting at.
I didn't say no.
I did, the long meeting was yesterday with our cabinet meeting. We had an extensive meeting yesterday that I'm still hearing about. People are still tired, so I'm gonna be quick for the sake of the team. We have already acknowledged the finance team with Jen, but with Jen's leadership, so just excited about that and appreciative for the work that they do. As Jacob alluded to, that team also does a number of roles. Jen is not just the CFO; she's also human resources, which is a task in itself in any organization. So, and then Kelly and Nick Alicia do multiple things with grants and you name it. So we're small but we're mighty, and very proud of the team. A few updates. There's a lot of things to talk about. We'll save some for our next meeting with celebrations, but homecoming is this weekend, as you all know. Friday is a parade, tailgate, and a football game. This week has been Spirit Week for the kids, and they've been doing what they do and having a good time. October 30th is the trunk or treat at Seminole and GSRP, right, Lou? 30th. More information to come for that is posted on our website and on our social media. So we're at volunteers and people can come out and help support the kids and have some celebration. a lot of great things are happening, from curriculum to special student services, just getting things in order, really focus on the instructional side of our program now, right? Foundation is kind of set, now we're really hitting student achievement really hard, and trying to focus on having a valuable curriculum, making sure all students are getting serviced, and their needs met. And so Alyssa and Ricardia have been working diligently and pushing our district forward with meeting our kids where they are, but also having high expectations in the classroom. So bringing some norms, instructional norms, data-driven decisions and instructions to our classrooms is our priority right now. And our principals are on board and our staff is on board. And so really excited about the future direction we're going in with their leadership. Last but I'll finish with this. You have in front of you, the board does, enrollment. Today was the final day for the count window. And we're just pleased to say that we have increased enrollment again for 3 years in a row. So I think that's a celebration for everybody. For our fall count, we are at 860 kids total. That doesn't include our GSRP students or students from St. Mary's. And so when we talk about how many kids we service, our GSRP typically gets up to about 60 to 80 kids. Right now, I think they're pushing 45 to 50, but Lou has packets on her desk now. So when I talk about how many kids are in our district, it's over 900. I would say it's over 900, but then we often talk about from a financial perspective, the FTE, who we receive funding for. So I shared that with you all too. So, and Ms. Cahoon asked me for this, and I think it's a good something to share because I know there's a lot of narratives that float around. We're proud that out of the 860 kids that we service, 804 of them are from Mount Clemens. Only 6% of those. Only 6% of those students are school of choice kids, come from everywhere else. Which I've said this before. And I'm excited that we're servicing our community, but school of choice impacts everybody, and people benefit from them too. So, but that I think it's important for that information to get out. Those school of choice kids, they come with funding as well, and as long as they're not taking up a seat from kids in this district, in this community, that taxpayers are paying for, the more the merrier. But we overwhelmingly 94% we service our community, and I don't know that that's clear. So thanks for asking for that to make sure we lift that. But thank you all for allowing us to do these things that we're getting done. And I tell this to people all the time, from the success we're having from the finance department to curriculum, special populations, whatever it is. This board and whatever people think, this board is allowing it and supporting it. I'm not just allowing it, I'm gonna say supporting it. So we appreciate you. This is all of our success. Without you supporting it, we wouldn't have these celebrations that we have. And we still got a long way to go. Our staff is working tirelessly. I think it's safe to say we are also, from a human resource perspective, as closely to fully staffed that we have been since I've been here with certified, qualified teachers. I think we have maybe 2 positions, a couple positions at the elementary and a couple at the secondary, but overwhelmingly, the number, we'll get that exact number of certified teachers is up from when I first got here, at least, for 3 years. I just know the impact. I'm looking over there at Mr. Fringer, the impact. We just met recently and had a discussion about the impact that has on the building, right? It makes a difference. And again, a lot of our students have a lot of needs, and we need really skilled people. Our kids deserve and need the best. And so we're seeking and still seeking the best candidates to put in front of our kids every day. And I'm trying to work to create an environment where it's attractive to those highly qualified staff members and people that want to work in our district. So thank you all for your support. Those are my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Agenda item 9. Oh, are there any questions of the superintendent? I'm sorry. Agenda item 10. Board comments. Ms. Hammond.
Thank you. I'm just gonna piggyback off the superintendent, with the exception of thanking North Broadway Community Outreach for their donation to the athletics department. I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely.
And that is
We'll have
all of my,
something formal coming too.
that's all of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Goon.
Thank you very much for the generous donation. It's going to be well spent, I'm sure. And anybody that would like to donate, I'm sure we're open to more, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, hello. Congratulations, Jen and your team. You guys work so hard. And just walking into the district when I started being a board member and seeing where the financial aspect of the district was and where they are now, kudos to you guys. You guys do an amazing job, and you know your job very well. And thank you. Seeing that the district is out of a deficit and making money for the last 2 years because of the faculty, the leadership, the entire team at Mount Clemens every month. Kudos to you guys for doing such an amazing job, working hard every day, no matter what gets thrown at you. There's a lot of negative things out there that still continue to be said, and you guys walk with your heads held high. Congratulations. Keep doing that. Everyone that's going to homecoming, be safe, have fun, enjoy yourselves, make memories, take lots of pictures. I have one question. Do we have any number, or can you get a number of families that are in the district that don't send? Just as a curiosity, if you had that number at all, or if you could get that number, because that is also a lot of people say that kids don't send their kids, or families don't send their kids here. And I'd love to see that, and then if it's true, let's do something to improve it, and if it's not true, then quit saying it, right? Like, let's have facts out there, right? We always talk about numbers and KPI, right? We need to have those things. So I'm looking forward, right? Next month is the month that they come, the principals come and they talk about what's going on in the district. What?
Yep, our quarterly
Yes.
update. Yeah.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm glad to see that the numbers, I'll just say what I wrote here. There are narratives that are getting pushed out, that most of the families send their kids elsewhere. And what we're seeing by the numbers went from 714 in 2023-24 to 770 in 2024-25, and now 804. And these are in district kids. That means they live in the district and the families send their kids here. So we need to make sure when we're speaking that we're speaking factually, and not spreading information that's incorrect. So keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Mr. Walker.
I want to say kudos to Jen and the team. I know that's very hard in your job dealing with finances, to deal with all the rules and red tape of federal and state government, as I kind of figured with my current college classes in dealing with Gatsby. Also, kudos to the girls volleyball team and their game, even though they lost yesterday. It was great to see the seniors for their senior night. I know that they worked hard this season. Many of the girls, it's the first time playing, but they were very tough during the season, and it was great to see. Thank you to the North Broadway Church of Christ for their donation. It's very great to see everyone come together to support the district, and thank the staff. You guys do many jobs that the superintendent asks you to do, that we ask you to do as a board, and your work doesn't get lost or forgotten, I can say. And just an FYI for the rest of the board, as the policy chair, we have 11 policies that need to be revised or updated. I know that the policy committee will be meeting next month, so just look forward to that. Many of these have to do with the Michigan Department of Education or different cases and rulings for the federal government. So there's not any wide range differences or changes. So just look forward to that and making those updates. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mr. Shepherd.
Again, thank you to the North Broadway Church of Christ for their donation. I see donations as more of investments when it comes to putting it towards children. And I know that the Bible says that given it shall be given unto you. So I'm expecting that to be more of an investment than a donation. I think this district was kind of on the way of being subject to death by 1,000 paper cuts. And I think we're really in the right direction. This audit's great. And I think that's a testament, of course, to the business department, but also that the turnover has slowed down quite a bit. So thank you for your leadership, Mr. Superintendent. And again, I'm hoping you're recognizing your business department as you no doubt do. Also, one of those things about the death by 1,000 paper cuts, as we're talking about hiring, the website for open positions is so much better right now. So I'm hoping we're seeing dividends in that. And again, kudos to everybody for that. I know I'm thinking of something. Is it? For the website? Okay. Yeah, HR and business office. Yeah, wearing a million hats, but y'all are pulling it off. The numbers don't lie, even if people aren't around to see the culture change, which is evident as well. So, again, thank you, Mr. Superintendent, and those are my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherd. Dr. McFadden.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, we're all gonna say thank you to North Broadway Church of Christ. That's a given. And that took me by surprise, actually. I mean, it's not the surprise that North Broadway Church of Christ gave the donation, but just that the fact is, you know, our athletic department needed the help, and someone stepped up to us. I want to say thank you again, 1,000 times over. The biggest conversation at this table is the audit, and I know a couple of my colleagues here on this board. We sat through many CFOs, we sat through many audits, and we also sat through many financial crises. But that audit speaks volumes because of the fact that we are actually budgeting this district in a responsible manner, as we are budgeting under what we project to receive and give, and we are functioning quite well. So, Jen, and I'm just saying congratulations, Jen, but you are the head of the team, but your whole team. I want to say thank you and congratulations. And I'm really saying thank you because you have came in and cleaned up a mess of numbers that was swept under the rug. I don't want to say swept under the rug, but you can always fudge numbers. You move numbers around and make them look the way you want them to look. It's like statistics. You can take numbers and say something says this, but really it says something else. So I want to say thank you for showing an honest perspective of our numbers. I mean, that's a really big deal. If we know some of our sister districts, I'm not going to say any names, to your right and to your left, they like to fudge their numbers, and it comes out at the end, it's still going to come out. So thanks a lot. Homecoming festivities are coming up. I do hope people come out and support. Wear your red and gray. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. As always, we need to talk about that date because it always seems to be cold on homecoming for us and raining. But nonetheless, it's still going to be a great homecoming. My fellow board member, Ms. Cahoon, you stated something that was quite evident to be stated, and that's fact checking. I have heard sayings that 2 out of 3 families send their children to different districts. I don't know if that's true or not, so I'd like to see the facts on that. I heard that some other resources spend over $2 million for Carnes Community Center, and I know for a fact that for the last more than 3 years, we've been putting $32,000 every year into fixing the parking lot. So I just want to make sure the facts are out there, that the district is supporting the community as the community supports the district. We are still moving forward and doing the things we need to do. I also want to thank my board members, all my colleagues who are on this board, because even though we thank our financial team and our superintendent, I think the fact that we made the decisions to make the right things, because we do go back and forth and fight with each other, and it's a fight worth having. But I want to thank all you guys, because without the votes here at this table, nothing's going to happen. I want to thank all of you. I'm not going to get too long-winded because I'm already long enough. But everything looking great. That's my comments, Mr. President.
You sure? Now, I'm moving slowly because you have. Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record and repeat myself. Kudos and thank you to the North Broadway Church of Christ, specifically and particularly the outreach crew. We definitely appreciate the donation, which Mr. Shepherd said investment. Happy, elated to see that we have a clean, unqualified. And you say unqualified, what does that mean? That means that's the best you can get. We had no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies. I remember 3 or 4 years ago, well, when Jen first came, we had quite a few material weaknesses and quite a few deficiencies. But under her leadership and her team, 3 years later, we have no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies. It sounds like a broken record, but kudos to Jen and her team for an outstanding job in keeping our books clean and keeping us floating and doing what we're here to do, and that's to educate kids and still be able to run a fiscally sound, responsible organization. So to the superintendent and his team, congratulations and kudos, and keep up the good work. Also glad to hear the fact that we have very few vacancies in our teaching ranks. To begin a school year off with a lot of subs or permanent subs, it's not impossible to gain any student achievement, but it's a lot more difficult when you have a sub in front of students as opposed to a certified and qualified teacher. So hats off to the superintendent and Jen, your human resources team, for beating the bushes and getting us good quality candidates that actually said yes and signed the contract to become the Mount Clemens family. So again, Mr. Superintendent, your team, thank you for that leadership. I'm requesting that the Business and Finance Committee and the Personnel Curriculum Committee meet sometime before next month. That was one of our board goals, is that all our standing committees would meet minimally bi-monthly for updates and trends. As been stated, the homecoming game is this Friday. We like to see everybody's face in the place, to cheer the team on. The team, we fight hard. We just have not been successful, but we've been competitive in most of our competitions. The same thing, piggybacking on Mr. Walker's comment about the girls volleyball team. Just like the football team, when you come up 9th grade, sometimes this is your first experience. Some young ladies, their first experience at volleyball. Several of the young men, it's their first experience in playing organized contact football. And you come in as a 9th grader and you're on the varsity team. and you're playing against stronger, more talented, more practiced, bigger teams, seniors, juniors. But our guys are hanging in there. They get battered and beat up a little bit, and they come limping off the field, but they still go out there and give their best effort. So to Coach Pittman and his coaching staff and to the team, kudos, congratulations, and good luck. And hope to see your face Friday night at the homecoming game. I believe those are all of my comments. I'm not going to go back. Takes us to agenda item.
Mr. Rickman, can I say one more thing?
Here we got a Dr. McFadden and McCoon.
No, it's not. It's actually just one thing. I just want to give kudos to Dante. Dante is always giving us the updates and on like what's going on, like what activities are going on, and I'm so grateful to you that you do that for us. Just sharing in a text, and then also online, just being able to always just be there to just speak truth when things are out there and being said about the district. I try to get on as much as I can, but Dante's always there, just being able to be truthful and calm in his responses, even though sometimes I know that he probably is intense on the inside. But so I just want to give kudos to you, sir.
Thank you, Sheila.
Agenda item 11.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved by
Support.
Member Cahoon, second by Member Walker. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Ms. Hammond,
Yes.
Dr. McFadden,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Rickman.
I have something else I want to say. Oh. Yes. Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned at 7:16 in the PM. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.